Yeah, so as we continue with fixing this old turd, I got out all the old floor joists that were way uneven. So I'm just starting to set the new ones in. I'm just catching a center here with the first one. And yes, all the rest of this room is going to get these old floorboards torn up. And then I will have to go in the basement and level each one of these. All these are attached to a main beam in the basement. So even if I can just lift it a half an inch, you can see by the gaps in the ends there how she's settled down over the years. And then that amplifies through the structure up to a roof. So if you've ever looked at some of the older homes and the roofs, their roof is starting to, you can see a little bit of a hollow, okay, in the middle of the roof somewhere. That's because the house is settled. And yeah, so let's go down and have a look at my leveling job here. Yeah, anybody that's followed the channel for a while will remember that we did the sump pump there. And if you look back on the videos, you'll see how we did that. But when you look at these floor joists, you can see they have, it's hard to make out, but they have a slight wallow, these floor joists. So you'll see this quite a bit. People in the basement leveling off their, their beams and things. I think that's pretty close. This isn't an overly professional level, but I think that's gonna be okay. So now that this one is settled in, we will then run other ones, the two-way level system that way, and then you'll put a beam up on top of there, or just use the level, and then you're gonna come this way from on top of the first one I've set there, and then you're gonna do the same thing until you get your level right in there somewhere, and that's where the next one goes. It will continue. Whoever hasn't followed the channel is probably wondering what the hell you doing. Well, it's because this room has sunk in this corner a good inch, and there's no way I was going to try and make that up with floor leveler or anything like that. So, well, we will continue and get the rest of them in here. Yeah, so that's how we're rolling, guys. Now, just continuing here with the this old turd project of this room. I'll put a link in the description about how we started, where we first started with this. So there they are. All the new joists are in. I use 2x6, which is what they pretty much use here for doing decking and things. 2x6, 2x8. Now, let's see how close we are. So, I got a board going along the top of them here. Each one is pretty close for doing this project anyway. I would say that's, geez, can we see that? Yeah, that's pretty good for this guy. So we were pricing tongue and groove and all that sort of stuff. Oh my God, it's brutal. $4 and $5 a foot. Just crazy. Even 1x8 fascia board is $350 a foot. Little crazy. So we thought, well, and that stuff isn't even the width of the original floor. The original floor, as you can see right there, is 1.25 inches. So, you know, this is when they really made stuff. So what we're going to do is get some 2x6 premium. And I need 12 footers for this length here. Okay. And it's about 2 to 3 feet shorter for in here. It's approximately 8 feet here. So we're just going to use 2x6 premium. Regular stuff. And we're going to plane it. Yeah, so here we are outside at the truck, and this is what we're looking at. 2x6 premium. There's the long 12 footers I need for the longest part of Mom's room. We call it Mom's room because that's where she slept and passed away peacefully in her sleep in that room. And we couldn't get around to totally gutting it and doing it right. So she was our priority. But anyways, here we are. And let's get to planing. Well, 5 hours later, we got, these are 1.25 inches now from 1.5 inches. So the planer shut down. She got a little bit warm. That's a whole lot of shavings. Yep, indeed. That's a big mound of shavings, eh, honey?
That is. Anybody need some for animal bedding?
Yeah, check out all that. Just from 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch off of 12, 2x6x12. Yeah, that's quite a bit. We'll get some new blades tomorrow for the planer. But what we're doing right now is we're taking these finish boards into the house and we're actually placing them. So, doesn't look all that bad. I have to undo that electrical connection there. They're only marretted. That's another thing. When did people start calling marrettes wire nuts? I don't get it. Like I grew up with those are called marrettes. So I've never heard them called wire nuts. Anyways, that's all I've known for the past 50 years is these electrical connectors that, these little marrettes hold the wires together temporarily. Marrettes. Anybody that says never heard of it, well, I don't know what planet they're from. Anyway, not looking too bad. Got to make a couple of little notch cuts, and then these will shift over. Same here. Another one will go in here, which we have another one out there. Yeah, so the next step is I'm just gluing down these boards and screwing. This one needs a little bit of trim right at the very end here. All right. Almost ready to go. So quite simply, guys, what I'm doing is I'm gluing the joints first. Weapon of choice, or my pick of poison, whatever you want to call it. There we go. This stuff's getting expensive. Rona, that's $25–30 now for 800 mil. But like everything, okay? So simply, I'm just putting it on top of the joist. Okay. So. Oh, here we go. All right, that's my weapon. I don't like the gold ones. They seem soft for some reason. Away we go. I just simply lift the boards up, put them in place. And the notch I did down there looks good. Not too hard against the wall. There we go. So I will probably put a subfloor over this. This is the main floor. Originally would have been tongue and groove, and that's your floor. Punching 2 per joist. Lots of purchase. Well, if the board's only 1.25 inches, there you go. That's lots of holding power, that is. Now, I could worry about these gaps. If I'm worried about it. If this was the actual finished tongue and groove, well, obviously, yes, I would be concerned about it. And I don't think that's going to move anyway. Upstairs, I've used a little scissor jack, and I planted it in here to squash these. But because either a 1/4-inch subfloor aspenite or it's mahogany is crazy. That's what my dad and I used to use all the time. But those prices for 1/4-inch mahogany, a little bit crazy. So I sink them in a 1/4-inch. There's lots of bite, guys. And you just keep repeating the process. And I'm not in a panic or a rush. I take my time. I don't need to use air gun nails or anything. I've always done this. And maybe air staples for the crown staples for the subfloor. Maybe a bit of glue or something. And if this was a new build, obviously, they just want to get it done and get going. But for me, I prefer this method. To each their own. Remember, nice and straight, square, vertical when you go to drive, and get some weight and some power behind it, and keep it that way. And you'll reduce the wear on your bit, and you won't be rounding out screws. Again, this is not a production thing. I'm doing this for me. I want it to last. I'm not saying other methods won't. This is the way I roll. I'm 250, 60 pounds, so I think it's good. Yep, so there we go. I have another, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 or 9. I've got 2 out there waiting. And as I creep up on this area, she'll get done. So, yes, all the edge will be trimmed right off. Some 2x6 will be glued and nailed underneath to create a lip for these boards to go onto, because the bottom joist down there is that way, about 1.5 feet or so. So there we go. It's all out over here. So the fun continues. We will keep you updated. And a little bit of dry rot there in that one great big beam. I'll be filling that with epoxy and using some of the shavings that we had from planing. I'll mix it with the epoxy to put in to any of the pockets. So I'll just bring you in here like that. And it will get drizzled all in there, and it'd be great. All right, so thank you so much for watching. with Teresa and Steve here as we continue with this project. We'll keep you updated, as I said. And if you can, if you find these our videos interesting or at least entertaining, at least give us a thumbs up, okay? We've been on for 7 months on YouTube, and we have 51 subs. So we can't make it without support. And you know, we're not monetized or anything. Obviously, we're doing this for fun. Thanks, guys.